Welcome, all of you. Today I'm talking here about spoken English, especially the spoken English ability of Sri Lankans. At the moment, this topic is very important for almost all you because most of the Sri Lankans are willing to migrate to other countries, especially developed countries. When they are trying to migrate, they need English, and most of the people are calling and asking about IELTS exam also. So I thought to do this uh, video in English because I think it would help you, especially it would motivate you for uh, achieving spoken English abilities. The, in this video, I am specially why most of Sri Lankan students and most of Sri Lankan people can't speak in English. So, as you know, as I know, most of the students, not most, just everyone in Sri Lanka learn English from their grade 1 to grade 11. Again, they learn general English in grade 12 and 13. After that, also they do many courses, English courses conducted by institutions or private tutors. They participate for these courses also, but eventually, uh, the unfortunate thing is they are not having that ability to speak in English. So that's why most of our Sri Lankan people lose their opportunities in other countries, especially opportunities for good jobs here in Sri Lanka. Actually, why it is happening, I think you would be able to understand what I am saying here because I am using very simple English words, simple English grammar, uh, as a I think that it would be a great help to understand you English what I am speaking here. The first thing, our people have no good dedication towards English. That is the number one. Most of the people are talking that I want to speak in English, I want to pass the IELTS exam, I want to do this thing and I want to do this thing, but unfortunately they do not do any dedication towards achieving their goals. Just uh, for examples, that most of the students going to school, they are having textbooks also, and extra to school they are participating for tuition classes also, but I don't know why they don't know English. I believe that the main reason for this is they are not giving their fully attention on the vocabulary. And without vocabulary, we can't speak, we can't understand, or we can't that we can read, but we can't understand the 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 things what other people say in English. That is the main reason here. That in Sri Lanka, some tuition classes, they are giving dictation. That means words to learn at home or uh, anywhere else at home. But most of our students don't do. But it is the key point of learning English. You have to study English words here. Without English words, you wouldn't be able to speak or understand anything in English. That is the number one. Number two is you are not getting any effort to speak in English. That means most of the Sri Lankan students, even in their school age, they are very shy to speak in English, but they are saying something bad with other students without shy. But I don't know why, but most of our school students scared to speak in English. So if I speak with our students in the beginning, they are shy to speak, probably they avoid it. So that's how they react to speaking in English. Number two is they are avoiding the chances to speak in English. That is very, very bad thing, as I believe. So the third one is when we consider about the English textbooks, right? Now in Sri Lanka we have many resources to develop our English knowledge. Especially we have textbooks in school, but the problem is I don't know how many students read this book at home. Just they bring it to the classroom, teachers teach, they put the textbooks again into their bags and go home. They bring it next day, but they are not reading it. Reading is doing a big thing towards English. If you are reading English, that means without your awareness the words are depositing in your mind. That's why it is very important to read in English. So I request you to read. And if you are a parent, a mother or dad who are willing to see your students, your if you are a parent who are willing to see your children's spoken abilities well, so do this one. Bring some storybooks, right? As well as ask them to read the school textbooks, because as a teacher I know that there are a lot of very important English words in school textbooks. So we can't avoid it, because uh, those books have been created according to their age and according to their mind setup. So it's very important to uh, make them read those textbooks. In extra, you can bring some small storybooks to your home, and that you can give them to your kids, because when we consider about the storybooks, we have simple English stories. Though those English storybooks are written in simple English, so it is very important to read them. They give you that grammatical patterns and a lot of words. That's incredible, right? And especially reading broadens your mind also in English. So I think you have to try this for spoken English ability, as well as on behalf of your own kids. Third one is our society. Most of the people in our society, they they can't speak in English. Then they don't like to see others speak in English. So that means if someone is trying to speak, other people can mock at may mock at them. That means saying something funny against it, and taking that into fun, and make the person who is speaking in English uh, that demotivate. uh, if you are doing these kind of things, it's very bad to us whole society. So here we have talked about few reasons why Sri Lankan students are unable to speak in English. The first one is they are not collecting words. Collecting words means they can collect words from their textbooks, right? They can collect words from movies, they can collect words from YouTube videos, and there are a lot of ways available around you. But some people are not allowing it to your their kids, and most of our students have no good awareness how to collect words and the importance of having a big vocabulary, right? The third one is second one was they are not going to read. Reading is very important part. You have the textbooks, but you don't read it, and easily you can get access to simple English storybooks, but you are not doing it, right? And the third one is the society. Society is ready to mock at the people who are trying to speak in English. As well as most of the our people are shy to speak in English, though they have that ability, because our people have that idea that others may mock at me, right? Especially as I think to speak in English, that person should have a good personality also, right? That means they should have that ability to bear what others say about their about his or her spoken pattern. Sometimes get wrong with grammar. It may happen because it's not a big thing, because English is not our mother language. So when we are talking in English, it may get wrong. It doesn't matter, right? Without having wrong points, right, we can't speak, right? Then according to my this video, first of all you have to collect a good vocabulary, right? Secondly, you can read more and more. Through reading, you can make your vocabulary strong, right? And through reading, you can have a lot of grammatical patterns. Without knowing, it will burden your mind. So all these things will help to speak in English. The third one is you should have good personality to speak in front of others without thinking about other bad reactions. So if we have all those together, you are that means if you have all these things together, you can get access to English. But however, you should have good grammatical knowledge also for speaking English. That you may say that you may think that some people are speaking English without knowing about grammar. Yeah, indeed, it's happening because some people who have a good English background, right? The language comes from their background, that it doesn't affect on the grammar wrong way. As well as some people, especially the people who are guiding tourists here, also speaking English without any grammar. You can say this, but it's happening, but the English is not correct, but it's a very good way to communicate. Not that they are not perfect in English. I don't say I am perfect in English, right? They are not perfect in English, but they can communicate. Communication is another part. Having a good language for communication is something more uh, something more important to go up in your career. So, third one, you have to find ways to speak in English. That means you can speak with mirror. So, go to bathroom or washroom. If there is a mirror, you can talk with mirror in English. Right? That's a good method to start to speak in English. The other one is you can think in English. That is the most effective way to develop your spoken English ability. That means just consider how many thoughts are in our mind per day, per hour, per mind. So we have a lot of thoughts. Thoughts are coming continuously. So if you are able to think in English all the all the thoughts, so it's wonderful and unbelievable development will bring you. So I am here to request you, if you are willing to speak in English, anyhow you have to practice to read. That is the first thing. While reading, you can collect more and more words, grammatical pattern methods. So next you can join to English classes or do an English course. If not, you can use YouTube. There are a lot of YouTube channels who are bringing you some verbs, grammar patterns, or very important things.